last one. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
You already know my answers. MV3, man. Lamar Action Jackson. Talk to me nice.
Give me 1-7.
All right, Hundo, state your case.
Hey, bro. He doing the thing. He missing Diggs, missing his number one man. He going crazy.
What he said missing? What he said missing? Like he coming back.
He put the cape on.
He's not coming back.
He might come back. He might come back when he get back off an injury. He might come back next year, the year after that,
and Diggs
maybe
come back
3 years after that.
He is not coming back. Let me tell you this about Lamar Jackson and why he should be the third. His third MVP this season and back-to-back MVPs at that. Lamar Jackson is leading in every statistical category this season for an NFL quarterback. Lamar Jackson is on pace to have his best career year yet, and he's already won, once again, 2 league MVPs where he was already the top quarterback in that season as well. So when we talk about a league MVP, when we talk about an MVP trophy that is statistically given to the best quarterback in the league that year, I don't see, me personally, how we don't give it to the person who has the number one stat line for quarterbacks in this NFL season over any quarterback in the entire NFL. And for some of those statistics, it's not close. It's not close at all. If you want to, and I know I'm going to let Hunter give his argument and then we can go back to it again. But for me personally, based upon this last game against Pittsburgh, and we got one more game on Christmas against the Texans, he wins both of these games convincingly with his performance himself. I don't foresee him not winning MVP. For me, I don't see how he does not win the third MVP with these numbers that he's putting up week after week after week after week after week. For me, against, once again, quality opponents. And then here's the thing, and I'm gonna let Hundo get to this in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and state the first part of this. Lamar Jackson has already played the second person on this list, Josh Allen. And when they played, one quarterback performed at an MVP level, named Lamar Jackson. The other quarterback did not perform at an MVP level, named Josh Allen. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about it. So Lamar for MVP3. Come talk to me.
That's your question. Do we factor in bad losses with this as well? Is just quality performance, or is it also who you lost to?
I think when we talk about it, yes, you have to talk about your losses. However, your MVP is determined by your wins and your quote-unquote MVP moments, your MVP wins against your biggest opponents. So Josh is in this conversation because he's had some wins against.
Hold on. Bro, you just made your own category talking about some of your MVP wins. Bro, what?
No, I'm sorry, MVP moments. So I say that like this. When we talk about Heisman candidacy in college, we talk about Heisman, right? We talk about these young men having these top moments against, and for the college, it's not even his best teams. You can have 400 yards against a trash team. They say, oh, that's a Heisman moment. He went crazy. Lamar Jackson, when he won the MVP and he won his Heisman, and he should have won 2 in college, by the way, but that's a whole other story for another day. When he won that Heisman that year, he had a crazy game against like UNC Charlotte, like 8 touchdowns, and they were going fed. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I feel like personally, when it comes to that, I feel the NFL kind of does some of that same stuff and does some of the same. They do their own narrative writing. I think that's a good thing. That's a good way to put it. They do a lot of narrative writing when it comes to these MVP. I just seen a post today, and it was crazy because Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen both threw interceptions yesterday in their games respectively. Lamar Jackson's interception was captioned and categorized as an interception in the caption, in the video, and everything. They categorized and captioned Josh Allen's as an arm punt to the 1-yard line. And I have never seen such a crazy narrative push in my entire life. Because if you also look at this stat line against the New England Patriots yesterday, he only had 1 touchdown and a pick against the New England, and they won by 3 points. And I know they're gonna say, "Oh, it's a divisional opponent." Lamar Jackson also played a divisional opponent yesterday in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are top. They were top in our division. They were the number 3 seed in the AFC. Lamar Jackson only went out there and threw 300. Threw over 200 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and didn't have. He doesn't. That's another thing. He hasn't even had to run this year. He had, in his previous MVP years, he had to have 1,000 yards rushing and so many yards passing. Lamar Jackson's on pace for over 4,000 yards passing, and he still might get 1,000 yards rushing. If he really, really wanted to, he could do it, but he's probably not going to because he doesn't have to because he got Derrick Henry. So, man, for me, the case is clear and it's simple, bro. Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL this year.
All right, Zachary, go ahead.
John, that was a nice little 5-minute speech you just gave right there. Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Chargers. Go ahead, keep going.
That was beautiful, brother. That was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
What's your record?
Our record currently is 10-5. We are currently the 3 seed in the AFC, right behind the.
No, y'all not.
Well, we're going to be a 3 seed. How about that? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers about to lose to the Chiefs.
What's the Bills' record?
11-3. 12-3.
Does the team record as well as the stats play a part in MVP?
I think that it does if your team is the number 1 team.
Whoa, if.
Yes. If. And see, let me get my charger because I'm gonna come back and tell you exactly what I'm gonna go ahead, finish your statement. I'm gonna come back and argue that point.
So yeah, I think John in his 5-minute speech, he made some good points. But I will say that if the Ravens had the record that the Bills currently have, I think Lamar Jackson is the MVP. Yeah, they got the head-to-head performances. Cool. Josh Allen didn't show up. Okay, cool. FanDuel has this man, Josh Allen, negative 450 odds to win MVP. Lamar Jackson plus 380. Now, John, you're a betting man. What do those odds tell you?
The odds tell me that there's a narrative being written.
That's crazy. That's crazy. A narrative being written.
There's a narrative being written, bro. Because, and I'm gonna let you finish, and I'll rebuttal with my points. Go ahead.
Now, going back to you said something about MVP moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen just put up 6 touchdowns the week before.
There.
Mm-hmm. And guess who? Who they playing? Who they playing that week?
They played the Lions. They
won. 6 against the Lions? Or was that the Rams game?
I think it was the Rams game.
You talking about the Lions or the Lions game, Jeff?
I was talking about the Rams game.
Okay, yeah. They played the Lions the week after.
But he also put up good numbers against the Lions.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And beat them.
He did.
Top team in the NFC. And didn't he beat the top team in the AFC?
He did. He beat them as well.
Okay. Okay.
These are solid arguments, Hundo. For sure.
Solid. Very solid. Very solid. But
that's all I'm saying, man. If we're gonna talk about MVP, it's not just the stats. The stats are cool. Okay, cool. We gotta look at your team record too. That's all I'm saying. If the Ravens had the record that the Bills have currently, Lamar Jackson's MVP. No question about it. But y'all got 5 losses. It's there. Y'all have 5 losses. That has to play a factor in it.
But
it does.
Would we be having the same narrative if Derek was playing in Buffalo and performing the same way? Like, I know they have James Cook, and James Cook is emerging, but he's not Derrick Henry. So now that you've added that weapon in Baltimore, I think that kind of takes away from the heroics that we're seeing with Josh Allen.
You're saying takes away from Lamar's legitimacy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Josh is doing more with less. when we talk about MVP, most valuable player, I feel like it's Josh because when you look on that roster, especially offensively, it's like outside of tight end, it's a bunch of meh. And Josh is still putting up the same numbers he did with Stephon Diggs. Not denying Lamar's greatness, but it's like a lot of this is added on to the weapons that they added on. And then the offseason with Derek.
Most valuable player, not the best player.
Not most outstanding. We're talking about value.
That boy put the cape on over and over and over again.
And Lamar, with that roster, with Derek, did they beat Pat?
No, we did not beat Pat.
Josh without Diggs, did he beat Pat?
He did beat Pat.
And we said that the Chiefs were the team to beat. So when we talk about value, what did you do versus the contending teams?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hear what you're saying. Here's my rebuttal to y'all. I love it. I love this.
Talk to him, John.
I love this rebuttal, man. I love this talk. Okay.
Let's see.
So when we talk about this, bro, I think about
the move.
No, I'm not moving. I'm not moving the goalposts at all. I'm gonna give you straight facts. When Lamar Jackson won his 2 MVPs, he talked about doing more with less. For the first time in Lamar's career, in his MVP seasons, because he was injured in the other seasons when we quote unquote blah blah, right? And so in his MVP seasons, if you look at these rosters, Lamar had very close to nothing.
He had Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews in comparison to Derrick Henry. But that's another conversation for another day. Mark Andrews is very good. But that's just a whole other argument. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Bro, he's a top 3 tight end.
Correct. He is.
Derrick Henry's a top 3 running back.
Josh Allen had Stephon Diggs for how many years and never won MVP? Like, what are we saying here? Like, what is really the argument that you're trying to make with that point? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But what I'm trying to tell you is this:
we talking about this year.
Let me finish my statement before you relish the point that Josh Allen and everyone else has been relishing this fact. Oh, he doesn't have Stephon Diggs. First of all, Lamar in the past 2 seasons is just getting the help that he needs in the respective positions that he needs to play quarterback efficiently at running back and wide receiver. He's always had Mark Andrews, and he's used him to the best of his ability, just like Josh Allen did with Stephon Diggs, and was winning nothing. And Lamar's winning MVPs with his tight end. So that to me says a lot about once again, we got Lamar. But going back to his MVP seasons, when he won those MVPs, Lamar had to have the best record in his respective division and in the respective conference, the NFL. He had the best record in the NFL both times he won MVP. Look it up. The first year we went 14-2. I think we still had 16 games at that time in 2019. He was 14-2. He had 36-6 that year. Last year he won MVP. We had the best record again at 14-3. And he threw for, I think, almost 30 touchdowns again, and ran for another close to 1,000, if not 1,000. When Lamar has won MVP, not only was he had the best statistical year, he also had the best record. So for me, with Josh not having neither the best record nor the best statistics, it's hard for me to categorize him. Oh, in addition to that, Lamar also had to have the best wins that year as well. Because at some point last year, Brock Purdy was the number 2 candidate for MVP before we played the San Francisco 49ers and blew them out the water. So, like, when it comes to Lamar, you talk about goalpost moving. Lamar has had the most goalpost moving every single year in his career, MVP or non-MVP year. Lamar has had the most goalpost moving stuff. And so this year, once again, we come to another crossroads where now the stats don't matter. The stats all of a sudden don't matter for MVP. Oh, he doesn't have the best record. Well, neither does Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a better record than us. He don't have the best record in the NFL. He don't have the best record in his conference. So it's like when you talk about that's the only thing you can argue is yes, he has a better record. The stats are clearly in Lamar's favor by far. Lamar has thrown over almost 10 more touchdowns than Josh Allen has. He almost has almost 400 to 500 more yards passing than Josh Allen has. The only thing Josh Allen has done more is run. And what was Lamar criticized for outside of college?
Win too.
Running.
Win. He's won more too.
Running.
He's won more too.
No.
He's won more too.
Let me finish. So it's crazy how now the goalpost has moved. Now that Lamar is not running as much.
You just answer your question though. Remember when I asked you earlier about the record mattering? You said when Lamar won,
he had the best record in the NFL.
He had the best record. Listen, you said he had the best record and he had the best stats. So clearly, your record matters, right?
It plays a point when it comes to Lamar.
Hey, cool. That's all I'm saying.
So you have to have the best record or better than the person that you're going against.
For Lamar's case, he had to have the best record in the NFL. They were crowning Brock Purdy as an MVP before we played them last year. We had the same record going into that game on Christmas Day. If we had not won that game, they would have said Brock Purdy was the MVP of last season. And that's downright sad. It's sad. I'm telling you, the goalposts move so crazy when it comes to Lamar, man. I can't make this stuff up. You really can't make it up, bro. The narratives write themselves. Because once again, back to my point, if stats don't matter, then I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that Joe Burrow got better stats than Josh.
I don't think people are saying stats don't matter. What I'm saying is the stats and the record matter. Like I said, if y'all had the record that the Bills had, Lamar's the MVP.
Josh had some bad losses too, we're gonna admit. And Josh has had some quality wins. And I feel like what's weighted more, stats or record?
Clearly, it's this year's record. Clearly. Because, like I said, his stats aren't close to Lamar's. Lamar's literally blowing everybody in the NFL out of the water. Everybody.
Well, if we're going to look at stats, Joe Burrow putting up some great stats too. But, I mean, shoot.
They've not been Lamar's.
I mean, okay, yes. Not all of them. not across the board. But look at passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Lamar still is leading the league in passing touchdowns and passing yards. Well, not passing yards, but passing touchdowns for sure.
So if that's the case, does Pat get any votes for MVP?
And that was my other point, because if the record matters so much, if Josh Allen's not leading his conference in it, it's like, well, okay, well, why Pat not in it?
But see, so that's like, the thing. It's stats and record. Pat's stats are not good. That's why he's not in the conversation.
But his record's 14-1. So it's like
but it's both of them combined. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You keep looking at the stats, or you keep looking at the record. It's both of them.
Me personally, the goalpost moves. And I'll tell you offline why it moves. But the goalpost moves.
Nah. Say it here. Say it here. Let the people know. Let the people know.
Lamar Jackson's a black quarterback. And the NFL just really can't wrap their heads around the fact that this man is so good and continues to get better and better. He came out of Louisville. They wanted him to play wide receiver. They wanted him to play running back. They said he's not going to be good enough at quarterback to play in the NFL. When Josh Allen came out of Wyoming, the University of Wyoming, they were crowning him as a baby god out of Wyoming. I had never heard of a quarterback coming out of the University of Wyoming until Josh Allen came out.
But never. You can't do that though, John, because he's 1-2. The NFL's giving him his respect. This is a mono versus mono argument. I don't feel like race plays a factor this year. Me personally. Shoot.
Bro. And once again, here we go again. Because I tell you this, I mean, if you want to keep it on this year, that's fine. But they came out the same draft class, 2018. So they had the same amount of ample opportunity to do the same kind of stuff since they've been in the NFL. And who gets more slack every single year? Lamar Jackson. And I wonder why. Because once again, Stephon Diggs was on this team for how many years, and nobody ever said anything about Josh Allen not finishing the big game or winning the big game or getting over the hump. No one was
no. They talked about they talked about it.
Stop, Josh. Stop.
They talked
They were
about
talking
it,
about it over Lamar. Come on,
They-
y'all.
they-
Y'all
they
seeing the
talked
same
about it,
stuff
bro.
I'm seeing, bro. We got to start keeping it a stack.
They
We
were
gotta
talking
start
about
keeping.
Byron McDermott because they lost to the Kansas City again.
We got to start keeping it a stack. They have devalued the entire MVP award because Lamar was winning it. When Aaron Rodgers winning back-to-back MVPs, they were like, "Wow, he's one of the greatest of all time." And so now that Lamar has the opportunity to get his third, it's like, I mean,
Hey, John.
they
Wait,
hold
John.
on. They're literally saying now, we don't care if Lamar wins MVP anymore. It really doesn't matter. So it's like, what are we really saying? Like, I really want to understand, like, at what point are we gonna like stop moving this goalpost when it comes to Lamar Jackson? Because everything that he seems to do, week after week, year after year, it just seems to be not good enough, and it's crazy. It is crazy. Y'all can talk about him winning the MVPs and him getting the quote unquote respect. It's not real respect, bro. You got the ones that's like, okay, cool, but you got the same ones. You got Stephen A. Smith. You got these guys like him on these shows talking about some MVP, MVP. Like, it don't really matter. And it's like, now if it was somebody else, we would be saying, oh my God, he's the greatest ever. Every season, Joe Burrow comes in as the greatest ever, no matter what he's done the year before. They put him, nobody wants to see the Bengals. And every year I say, as someone who watches the Bengals every year as a Ravens fan who's in their division, all right, y'all giving them too much gas. Coming into this season, they were talking about, it's going to be so great. The Bengals are going to be this, and that. We see the Bengals are right now. We gotta start like looking at this in like real time, in like real life, because once again, Josh Allen came in 2018, the same year as Lamar Jackson. The same year, so they've had the same amount of time, and let the people tell it. Josh Allen's had more weapons, more that, and they've done this. Hold on, they've done the same amount of losing. When it comes to it, because the people are talking about this playoffs. Lamar can't do this. They lose the same amount every time. They lose the pack all the time, but only one person gets the flight for it. When they talk about Josh, he's Patrick's biggest rival. Patrick doesn't want to see him in the playoffs. That's the narrative, and y'all know it to be true. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Listen, going off of the question, I heard a lot of historical data. This year,
I told you this year. I think, me personally, once again, y'all see that name right there? John. My last name is Carmichael. Listen, I think that Lamar Jackson is the league MVP. I know that Josh Allen is a good quarterback. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's a very good quarterback. He's had a very good season. When I look at the season in its totality, I think that both of these quarterbacks, take away from their teams are not as good. Either one of them. I look at the Ravens without Lamar, we suck. I know that. I can be honest and say, without Lamar, we're bad. You can look at Josh Allen and the Bills, they're equally, if not worse than us, still very bad. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I would say that when you look at the numbers, when you look at the teams that are being played, because now, once again, like I said, these upcoming weeks, we now have the Steelers this past Sunday, and we have the Texans this upcoming week. 2 playoff teams. You got Josh Allen playing the Patriots, barely winning. He's gonna play the Jets this week. I don't know what's gonna happen. You got the Patriots again. We talk about these wins and quality wins. I mean, at what point are we gonna be like, come on now, let's be honest.
All right. So, Hondo, you got any other rebuttals on that?
This man talking about quality wins again. What about the losses? What about the losses?
But I mean, the losses are set in stone at this point. They're gonna have a better record than us, unless they lose these last 2 games. And if they do that, I mean, clearly the MVP is gonna be Lamar Jackson. But I don't foresee them losing these last 2 games. They shouldn't. I also didn't see them barely winning last week, so I don't know.
So, okay, question for you. So, if Josh Allen wins these last 2 games,
To me, based upon last week, he has to win them convincingly.
Huh?
To me, personally, he has to win these last 2 games convincingly.
So if he does that, he's the MVP?
I still would give it to him, but that's just me.
Oh, okay.
Do the Chiefs have the number 1 seed locked up?
Yep. Because even if they lose the next 2 games,
no, they don't. If they lose,
well,
if they lose the next 2 games,
two
Buffalo win the next 2
jump.
games. Buffalo got the tiebreaker over them.
Buffalo would jump them. But I don't think the Chiefs. I don't think they lose the next 2.
Hey, they could, man. They could.
They got Pittsburgh at home.
They got Pittsburgh on the road, and then they got to play the Broncos.
Oh, they're going to Pittsburgh?
Yep. They on the road the last 2 games.
Then the Broncos, you said?
Yep.
They're going to beat the Broncos.
Hey.
Unless they rest and pat.
Yep, we're going to see.
The Broncos ain't good. So that's not much confidence.
Hey, the Broncos about to be in the playoffs, man.
We'll see.
Are we counting as quality win? Because once again, that helps my case because Lamar smacked the crap out of the Broncos. So are they good or they not good? You tell me.
Bro, they are good, bro. Who was questioning them about quality wins, bro? You the only one talking about quality wins, bro. I'm talking about y'all losses.
Yeah, we just lost over the Raiders game. I was like, okay, I'm gonna let it slide. Say
it again.
So we're not talking about the bad
Raiders, bro. Get out of here.
Say it again.
So now he can't hear.
No, I didn't hear. Y'all lost. Yeah, we did.
Now his Wi-Fi not working.
I mean, are we gonna y'all gonna go game for game and talk about bad games versus bad game? Is that what we're doing? Because Josh Allen had a game we threw 5 picks.
No, listen. We just want you to acknowledge that y'all have 5 losses and the Bills have 3.
I have acknowledged that. I have acknowledged that they're gonna have a better record than us by 2 games. Correct.
All right, cool.
So how many games this season has Lamar played a bad game, John?
In the losses that we have, Lamar has played a bad game he didn't play bad against the Chiefs. He played bad against the Raiders. He played bad against the Browns.
I forgot about the Browns.
And then he didn't play that bad against Philly. And the other game we lost was
y'all lost to Boswell.
Oh, yeah, we did lose to Pittsburgh. Yeah, we lost to Boswell. So we lost 2 divisional games and then 3 games we definitely should have. Yeah, 2 divisional games, 1 or 2 of them. So I'd say out of those losses, I put 2 of them on Lamar. I put 2 of them on Lamar. The ones that we out of the 5 that we lost, 2 of them on Lamar.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think it's a wide margin, but this season, because nobody was expecting with the Buffalo Bills losing Diggs, they were not expecting Buffalo to have this kind of season. And I just feel like if we ask everybody in that Buffalo organization, who is this because, everybody would say Josh Allen. And
I hope so. I hope if they want to keep their jobs, they would say Josh Allen.
Yeah, but with the Ravens, yes, Lamar's a big factor, but Derrick Henry has been a huge component on this.
Yeah, but hold on. If Derrick Henry once again, because he's had 1,000-yard seasons for the past 10 years in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And what has happened because of that?
I'm not denying the wins are attributed to both of them in the backfield. But what I'm saying is your argument hurts because the years before you said that Lamar did not have good rosters and he put the team on his back and won the MVP. That same thing is happening this season when he has nobody and he put the team on their back. So
nobody? So James Cook don't exist.
Come on now. Let's stop, John. Stop it.
So hold on.
I
was saying James Cook not good now?
Stop it.
So you're saying James Cook not good now?
Hey, that goalpost moving, bro.
Stop it, John. Like, John, you reaching. You reaching. Like, nobody out here is saying that Josh Allen has a top weapon on his offense at any position. Maybe offensive line with Deion Dawkins.
I really can't believe you just discredited James Cook like that.
Is James Cook a top 5 running back?
In the AFC?
Oh, now it's in the
Oh,
AFC.
we talking about the league.
Oh,
come on, John.
Oh my goodness. He go talking about something in the AFC.
Like in New York? Like what? No, in the league.
But he got 14 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards on the ground.
Good night. All right, chat. Like L chat. I see where you're going with this. This is nasty work. This is nasty work. No way we have a conversation. Like if Baltimore signed James Cook this offseason, you're not saying anything, bro. You're like, okay. Now I'm not denying he hasn't had a good season, but in terms of top 5 in the league, nobody's saying James Cook. We can be honest.
I mean, no, he's not top 5 in the league. No.
Do they have a top 5 receiver?
No.
The only top player I can think of is Josh.
Okay.
And they still have a better record than Baltimore.
They do have a better record than us. That is correct. But I'm trying to figure out at what point are we going to say, okay, cool. Yes, the record is better. And we can continue to acknowledge that all day. If he's not the best in his conference, what are we saying? Because once again,
we beating a dead horse, bro. We beating a dead horse, bro. Because clearly he's not understanding that there's multiple factors outside of stats. Clearly, it's clear.
What? We're talking about records. So clearly, we talking about outside of stats.
That's an L chat.
Clearly,
it's clear.
Listen, Nick, people, we just not going to agree on it, and that's okay. That's fine.
All right, man. We're way past time because we just can't be honest in here. So I just pray
the goalpost moves. The goalpost moves a lot, chat. The goalpost moves a lot. It's
now
crazy.
we gotta open it up to the people. I gotta see what they want because we need a consensus.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
I want the people to open it up. We put a poll out, but y'all put it on personal Instagram.
We're gonna put a poll out. Make sure y'all vote.
Please.
And
please.
We're gonna put
you want to give some correspondence of why you chose
additional feedback.
Please. And I'll read it off. I can read it off on the next pod or whatever the case is, man.
Yeah, DMs are open.
Please.
Yeah.
Put it all in the comments. I want to see it all, man. I want to see it all.
For sure.
I mean, best in the league, bro. It's not close. It was not close, bro.
Not close. That's crazy. This is crazy.
I just told this man what the FanDuel odds was.
Man.
Talking about it's not close. It definitely ain't close, but not for your way.
And that's fine. FanDuel's wrong a lot, actually. So I'm okay.
Hey.
I'm okay. People come every day because FanDuel be wrong. So it's fine.
FanDuel about to come up. Go ahead and place your bet on Lamar Jackson so they can take your money. Donations, gifts.
All right, man. So hope y'all enjoyed this episode, man. We will be back with more content next week, more NFL games coming. We look forward to the playoffs, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in this long with us. Look forward to the next episode, man. We out.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, man.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.